Alright everybody, welcome back to Conquer and Commander. Today we're going to be looking at a game featuring the Mind Seize Commander 2013 pre-constructed deck. For more on my thoughts, go to puremtgo.com and look up my article series Conquer and Commander. You'll see what I think about this deck there. Let's just get right to it. My first opponent is Nekusar, the Mind Razor. Typically, with the dedicated Nekusar deck, games move quickly, so I'm looking forward to a fast game here. Next up, we've got Oloro, Ageless Ascetic, Esper Control with a little bit of life gain. Worth watching out for. Finally, we've got another Jeleva deck, Nephilius Scourge. And at first I'm curious if this is another precon, but it's definitely not. Interestingly, all four of these guys, including my commander, are brand new with Commander 2013. If you look at my hand, obviously I've got no lands, so that's got to go back. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands, and although both of my creatures cost 7 and 8 mana, that's just going to have to do. So let's just see what we got going on here. Nekusar starts things off with Bloodchief Ascension, first turn. I draw a land and play Akum Refuge. Basically, the early turns are people hitting land drops. Armillary Sphere for Nekusar. I play my Rupture Spire. Dimir Signet for the other Jeleva player. Oloro plays Transguild Promenade. I play Strategic Planning, and I go for a land because the other two cards that I drew were Uyo, who's not going to help me right away, and Skyscribing, and that's not going to help me either. I'd rather have the land at this point. Jeleva just passes the turn. We've got Sword of Light and Shadow for Oloro. Nekusar grabs some land and does nothing. I draw into Decree of Pain, and I play Jeleva. I only get 2 cards. One is Spell Twine, but nobody else has cast anything, so that's not going to do anything. The other is Blue Sun Zenith, and since I can't put mana into the X, this is a useless card for me. The stuff that goes away from me isn't very interesting. The other Jeleva player has Thought Dissector. It looks like Oloro has Sublime Archangel, Solemn Simulacrum, Darksteel Mutation. And then Nekusar has Rhystic Study and Forced Fruition. Holy cow. So, I'm just hoping at this point that Jeleva dies again. Thran Dynamo for this Jeleva player who's missing his red mana. Orzhov Signet. And a bounce land for Oloro. Nekusar plays his commander. So now we're going to start getting hurt. I draw into Infest, which doesn't do anything. I cast Blue Sun Zenith, which doesn't do anything either. And I have to discard something. I discard Infest because nothing's going to get hurt by Infest out here right now. Jeleva's still missing his red mana, but he does have enough mana to cast Rexiel. Oloro was up to 49 before the Nekusar Pain, who plays Gilded Lotus, and then Erebos, which is problematic a little bit for any sort of life gain I might have. Now this is a... Stop. Nekusar attacks Oloro. I'd never seen this card before. Vile Consumption. It's basically a creature control enchantment, and it's good if you want to keep lots of creatures off of the playing field. Now, if you've got like one guy who's running like a Voltron commander, it's not going to do anything. But if you've got a token deck, it's going to hose the crap out of them. So luckily, this allows me to let Jeleva die, and I can go ahead and replay her again. I draw into Terror Ravager, which I hate. It's not a good card. Don't play it. I play Thrax, but it gets spell crumpled. My plan was to attack Nekusar so that he wouldn't keep pinging people, but it's too bad. Thraxamundar died, or got countered and tucked. Bribery, targeting Sphinx of the Steel Wind. He targeted Oloro, and then he attacked. Who did he attack? With Rexiel. Well, he did attack the Nekusar player. Oh no, he attacked the Oloro player. So Oloro's down to 43. Wrath of God. So Thraxamundar wouldn't have mattered anyways. He would have just died to the Wrath of God right there. And there's Send Triplets, which is an interesting card. Always worth worrying about in an Esper deck. Nekusar comes back out to play. I play a land, and then I Decree of Pain to get rid of those two guys. And I draw cards, hurting myself from Nekusar. And Bloodchief Ascension is now active. So that's worth worrying about as well. I'm down to 27. Jeleva, still missing red mana, casts Acquire and gets... Stop. This was Phyrexian Metamorph copying the Gilded Lotus. So now he has red mana. And then he uses Blatant Thievery to steal the Bloodchief Ascension, Akum Refuge from me for his red mana, and Erebos off of Nekusar, or Oloro. So, yeah, that's problematic. Oloro plays Serra Ascendant and equips him with the sword. He's at 35 right now. And then plays Well of Lost Dreams to help with his card draw. And Underworld Connections. Nekusar plays Howling Mine and Psychosis Crawler. So, I've got enough mana. I decided to play Army of the Damned. And here's the thing. I wasn't really thinking about vial consumption. I figured I'd keep a bunch of my dudes and just try and beat down to try and bring people down, but I probably would have let half of them go. It's really out of my hands at this point, though, because Jeleva plays her own Decree of Pain. Oh, no, she memory plunders my Decree of Pain. That's right. And it activates the Bloodchief Ascension a couple times. And all of a sudden, she's got a lot of artifacts that she's trying to cast now to dump her hand. One of which is Omen Machine. And I'm saying this is a Nekusar hoser because players can't draw cards. Right? But he discards a bunch of stuff. One of which was like Scrambleverse or something like that. Yeah, Scrambleverse. Cool new Concentrate. So Howling Mine does nothing because players can't draw cards. And at this point, the Oloro player is like, okay, we need to team up against Jeleva. So he plays Oloro. And, you know, Oloro would typically be card draw for him, as well as Well of Lost Dreams. But neither of them are going to do him as much good. There's Sepulchral Primordial. He grabs Uyo, Rexiel, and Sphinx of the Steel Wind, which is a pretty good haul. Alright. So I play another land, and none of the stuff in my hand is really good. I play Jeleva. I get a bunch of good stuff, but it doesn't really matter because he gets Archaeomancer targeting. What is he targeting? Oh, Memory Plunder. The Memory plunders the Wrath of God and wipes the board again. Alright. And the Bloodchief Ascension is going to help him out. And then he casts Jeleva, who has haste due to the Lightning Greaves out there. And he's got a lot of stuff here. He can do Stolen Goods and some other stuff. And I think what he does is the Stolen Goods. Yeah. He does Stolen Goods targeting the Oloro player. What does Stolen Goods do? You can cast a non or an exiled card, but I don't think it was anything good. All right. Oh, it was grinning, grinning totem. So Oloro's main card draw is kind of hosed. He ends up casting Merciless Eviction for enchantments. This is interesting because what he really starts complaining about is the fact that Omen Machine is out there that's preventing him from drawing. And I'll be honest, I'm not really sure why he got rid of enchantments. There must have been something out there. I didn't have any enchantments. Was it the vile consumption that he was really worried about? Erebos? Must have been Erebos, maybe? Oh, the Bloodchief Ascension. That's what he was worried about. My bad. Okay. So, the Ascension was he was worried about, but if he was really worried about the Omen Machine, he could have done artifacts and drawn into another answer. So now he plays Oloro. Puts a sword on it. Diabolic Tutor and Nekusar for Dominus of Fealty. Interesting. Alright. And that's when Nekusar bails and does nothing. Okay, so here's the thing. Stop. Omen Machine, for me, revealed Fissure Vent. What I wanted to do was get rid of the Well of Lost Dreams and a land. Oh no, the sword. That's right, the sword. But instead, what I do is I got rid of the sword and one of this guy's lands. And Oloro is basically like, you should have gotten rid of the Omen Machine. But for me, I just didn't really care at this point. Like, I just thought I was playing on borrowed time, and you know, this guy's got some fun stuff going on, and so I decided to play Jeleva. He's like, yeah, the machine stifles our draws, and he's like, well, why didn't you get rid of the Grinning Totem too? And I'm like, what's he gonna take from me with the Grinning Totem? You know, it's not that big a deal to me. I admit I may have had a couple beers before this game. So he uses Grinning Totem to steal Quietus Spike from the Oloro player. And puts it on Jeleva, obviously. Oh, there's Conquering Manicore stealing my Jeleva, and he grabs it and Legend rules it away. He doesn't even equip it. He just attacks and casts Theis, killing the Oloro. Yeah, and you see he's still annoyed that I didn't get rid of the Omen Machine. So there's Drogskull Reaver from the Omen Machine there. And then he plays Oloro again, I think. And you see me, I'm like, both of you scare me right now. I'm like, yeah, you know, because Oloro was freaking crazy. I cast Vision Skeins. It doesn't do anything because people can't draw cards. None of the stuff in my hand is any good, so I cast Jeleva again. And I only hit two cards. I hit like Blue Sun Zenith again and Molten Disaster, which neither of which do anything for me. So Cruel Ultimatum hits the Oloro player, and I'm like, dude, if you just extort the crap out of people with Oloro, you can start doing a good job there. There's still an identity on the Conquering Manicore. And he steals the Drogskull Reaver. And he puts the Quietus Spike on it, and he attacks the Oloro player and kills him. Okay. So, stop. Basically what ends up happening is, you can't see it in the chat right here, but, and I draw, or I get Night's Game Familiar or something. I'm basically hosed at this point. Okay, so here it is. The Oloro player's pissed. And he's like, why didn't... And he just keeps going back to, like, me and not killing the Omen Machine. And he's like, you just don't know what's... Obviously, you don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And I engaged him, unfortunately, and I'm like, I've been writing Commander articles for 3 years. And he's like, yeah, sure you have, whatever. And I'm like, well, whatever. Like, arguing on the internet is just, it's pointless. It's not worth doing. And I mean, he might have had a point, getting rid of the Omen Machine probably would have helped him. It would have helped him a ton because he could have drawn a bunch of cards. Wouldn't have helped me much at all, honestly, even with the Baleful Force or the Opportunity. Because there was not much that I could really do with the deck against both of them. Oloro, if anything, the Omen Machine was keeping the Oloro player in check. So yes, I did keep Oloro from winning, I guess you could say. I don't know. Sound off in the comments if I should have blown up the Omen Machine or not. So anyways, I die here. He's just got too much going on. A bunch of dudes coming after me. So anyways, there's the Mind Seas game. Hope you guys enjoyed it.